Want to welcome our viewers to. We have two additional YouTube channels that we are broadcasting this live on. That we want to make sure that everybody is in the know. And again, if anybody is wondering, we have suspended our feeds from Torcon Weather Team Southern Plains region, our page that is dedicated to Missouri and the surrounding states. We have no threat of any severe weather in our area here in the Southern Plains, so we suspended all the feeds, and we are just going to be going with all the latest information and live streaming for those in the southeast. And this potentially catastrophic Hurricane Helene makes landfall this evening. And I'm just updating our Facebook page as well. So let's just jump over here real quick and take a look at the 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time key messages from the National Hurricane Center. Catastrophic deadly storm surge will occur along portions of Florida Big Bend coast, where it could reach as high as 20 feet above ground, along with destructive waves. If you live in this area and were told to evacuate by local officials, your opportunity to do so is almost over. There is also a danger of life-threatening storm surge along the remainder of the west coast of the Florida Peninsula. So potentially catastrophic hurricane force winds are expected within the eye wall of Helene and will spread inland over portions of North Florida and southern Georgia when Helene makes landfall in the Florida Big Bend region this evening. And of course, catastrophic and life-threatening flash and urban flooding, including numerous significant landslides, is expected across portions of the southern Appalachians through Friday. So again, very strong wording. And this is the public update at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Helene is a very dangerous and large major hurricane. Damaging hurricane winds and catastrophic storm surge expected. Maximum sustained winds at 125 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure 951 millibar. So current 5 o'clock location. And again, this is just west of Tampa. And of course, it's still expected to be hurricane status in southern Georgia. A tropical storm into Tennessee. And finally weakening to a depression as it goes into Kentucky on Saturday. Going to take a look at radar. And the hurricane hunters are, look like approximately probably about 25 minutes away from their first sampling of the hurricane eye wall. So we will be monitoring this and seeing some up to the minute information to see if Helene is continuing to strengthen. I will be interested to see what the millibar pressure reading is as the hurricane hunters fly into the eye wall. Take a look at the tornado warning still ongoing. And one of the on the eastern side of the hurricane is the most likely side where you will see spin ups because of the more favorable environment. You have a lot of wind shear that's going on different levels on that east side of a tropical system. So you get a lot of rotation in the upper and lower levels of the atmosphere. And we still have a tornado warning here for the next 12 minutes. And this is going to be for western Charlotte, southwestern DeSoto, northwestern Lee, and southeastern Sarasota counties. 515 severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles southwest of Punta, moving north at 60. Hazard tornado. Radar indicated excuse me, frog in the throat. Radar indicated rotation. Flying debris will be dangerous, of course. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of these tornado warnings as the evening continues. And this one here has been going, this still has another 26 minutes. And this one here is for northeastern Gulf County, southwestern Liberty County, northwestern Franklin County, all in the Big Bend and the Panhandle until 5:45. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 13 miles north of East Point, moving northwest at 30. That's for this cell right here. Let's take a look at velocity. So it looks like we still have an area of rotation right about here. That's going to be, look like right along North-South Highway 65, right at the intersection of Brickyard Road is where the center of that rotation is. Let's take a look at like center of rotation about right here, just north of Charlotte Harbor Preserve State Park, southwest of Port Charlotte, and just east of Rotonda West. And of course, very, very large tornado watch all the way up into North Carolina, as well as Tennessee, parts of Alabama, Georgia, and of course, nearly the entire state of Florida underneath this tornado watch. So we're going to be looking at the possibility of tornadoes, catastrophic, life-threatening storm surge, flooding rains. Of course, we have lightning, winds to 125 miles per hour. I mean, this is about a five-headed monster that is moving in to the Big Bend of Florida. So again, that's one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to cease our current operations in the southern plains and focus on this area down here in the southeast, try to get wording out to as many people as possible, keep the current information out there available for them as this continues to head for landfall this evening into Big Bend of Florida. Hi, Jordan. Take a look at any more information, different social media outlets here. So again, right now the hurricane is about 130 miles west of Tampa Bay right now with 125-mile-an-hour winds. So it is a Category 3. We do have the hurricane hunters. We'll probably get the first reports back from them here in the next 20 minutes or so, and we'll see if there's any change in the intensity to see if we see that barometric pressure of that low pressure system drop. It is currently at 951 millibar, and if it's any indication of what it's been doing throughout the day, we are likely going to see that barometric pressure drop by a point or two on this next pass from the hurricane hunters. Okay, so we do have the new tropical marine weather briefing. And I believe this was moments ago. So let's go ahead and let's watch this. Go ahead and I'm going to turn on volume. That helps.
Through Tuesday, October 1st. An overview of the situation. We have 3 systems of interest. The first and foremost, of course, is Hurricane Helene, which is currently a Category 3 in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. We also have an Invest 98 in the eastern Atlantic, forecast to reach the central Atlantic. And we have a disturbance in the western Caribbean that may spin up over the next several days. So Hurricane Helene, as of 4 p.m. Eastern Time, reached Category 3, 105 knots, while it was west-southwest of Tampa. You can see the very large tropical storm wind field in orange. It extends as much as 300 miles from the center. And even the hurricane force winds extend 50 miles from the center. The forecast has it moving toward the north, increasing in forward speed, making landfall tonight, that would be Thursday night, as either a Category 3 or 4 hurricane. It'll continue inland, but then as it's rapidly weakening, it'll slow down, and that's going to contribute to extreme rainfall and perhaps flash floods and mudslides. So because of this, on the coast and inland, we have significant storm surge, significant wind, and flooding, and even tornado hazards for this particular system. In addition to Hurricane Helene, we have 2 other systems in our area of responsibility. There's also Tropical Storm Isaac, but that's north of our waters, well north of 31 north latitude. So we are monitoring AL98, which is a tropical wave over the eastern Caribbean. It does have a very high chance, 90%, of becoming a tropical cyclone in the next 2 days, while it moves toward the west-northwest or northwest afterwards. Finally, there is an area in the northwest and southwest Caribbean that may form, but unlikely over the next 5 days. So looking at wind and wave conditions from this morning at 12 UTC on Thursday, we have Hurricane Helene over the Gulf of Mexico. We also have Tropical Storm Isaac, again, well north of our waters. And here is that AL98, that invest, which is a tropical wave, just entering our waters at about 37 west. You can see the area of 12-foot seas or greater, which is the yellow to red, associated with Hurricane Helene, with peak seas today about 40 feet in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. And then there's 8 to 10 foot seas with that invest AL98. Forecast conditions for 12 UTC on Friday. Hurricane Helene will be moving northward, and winds and seas over the Gulf of Mexico will recede very quickly tomorrow morning. But at the same time, we'll have enhanced winds and seas just east of northeast Florida in our waters with tropical storm conditions. Accompanying that, you still have seas to 12 to 13 feet in the northeast Gulf of Mexico that are going to be receding very quickly. And then winds and seas had ramped up, producing seas up to 15 feet just south of 31 north latitude tomorrow morning. And then finally, the Invest AL98, which may be a tropical storm by then, it will be at about 42 west longitude, producing seas up to 10 to 12 feet. In 48 hours, which would be Saturday at UTC, the only feature of interest at this point is Invest AL98. Our forecast assumes that it's going to still be at most 30 knots and seas 11 to 12 feet. However, it's possible that if we do start advisories, that the system would be quite a bit stronger. At this point on Saturday morning, it's anticipated that the center would be near 19 north and about 47 west. 72-hour forecast for Sunday morning at 12 UTC. Again, that potential tropical cyclone, AL98, would be at this point at about 20 north and 49 west longitude, and seas that we're forecasting of 8 to 10 feet. Again, could be quite a bit stronger for winds and higher waves if we commence advisories. 96 hours, you still have that area of low pressure. Could be a tropical cyclone at that point. At this point, we're suggesting it would be starting to weaken, and peak winds here only a strong breeze to near gale in the northeast quadrant. And finally, by 120 hours, this would be Tuesday morning, UTC, 12 UTC. At this point, that system is devolved into a trough of low pressure and peak seas, fresh to strong breeze with seas 8 to 10 feet. So to summarize, some very impactful weather with major Hurricane Helene ongoing today and tonight. That's Thursday night, with winds forecast to reach 115 knots, which would be Category 4, before making landfall in the Big Bend area of Florida. This is a very large hurricane. Tropical storm force winds extend as much as 300 miles from the center. Seas are likely about 40 feet right now over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, which are tremendous. And 12-foot seas cover about half the Gulf of Mexico today. Winds and seas are expected to increase briefly over the Atlantic off of the northeast Florida coast tomorrow or Friday. But then both the Gulf will diminish tomorrow morning and the Atlantic will diminish by Saturday morning. In addition to Helene, we're watching AL98, which is a tropical wave in the east and central Atlantic, very likely to become a tropical storm in the next day or two. Currently, we're forecasting winds of max only 30 knots and seas of 12 feet. However, if we commence advisories, those winds and seas will need to be boosted significantly. And finally, the disturbance in the Western Caribbean not expected to develop in the next 5 days. So again, this is your Tropical Atlantic Marine Weather Briefing. Next briefing will be issued by 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Sunday, September 29th. You can always get the latest information on hurricanes.gov/marine. Be safe.
All right, guys, so that was the latest. I also have Turcon Weather Team, our op channel. You're going to be hearing that in the background to keep up with the latest warnings, watches, and advisories. We also have a couple storm chasers that are out and about for Turcon to keep a good eye on them as well as we listen in. So if I'm in mid-sentence and I stop to listen to the op channel of Turcon, that is what we have going on in the background. So let's take a look here. I do want to see if the National Hurricane has an update yet. They do not. I do believe it's around 5:30, so we could be about an hour away from that. So let's take a look at radar, as we do have, I believe, new tornado warnings. So we do have a tornado warning out here in eastern Florida in one of the outer bands. So let's just jump back over to that here real quick.
501 to Cyclone 1.
Go ahead, 501.
Just advising, monitoring off of Station Kilo Victor Alpha X-ray. You do have a cell marker Golf 0 moving towards you. Should be coming up on you in the next few minutes, producing winds, 62-mile-per-hour winds, moving to the north-northwest, coming right towards your location.
Copy that.
Okay, and again, we have our radar tech, social media experts. They are watching out for our storm chasers at Turcon. And we'll take a look to see if we can find out where they are at here momentarily. So we do have a tornado warning for until 5:45 Eastern Time. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Hastings, moving north at 45. So it looks like it will remain mainly over rural areas of south central St. Johns County.
There's 14.
10-8.
Show 10-8, 1735.
So we do have hurricane hunters. They are actually approaching the center of Hurricane Helene. So I am expecting here, probably here in the next 10 minutes or so, we will start to get some of the readings off of the hurricane hunters plane as they get closer to the center. Just looking, I'm going to do a couple of looks here. It might look like that this is actually beginning to strengthen, maybe begin to possibly close off just a hair, and typically that happens during intensification process, because we are the waters down here where Hurricane Helene is coming across, very, very supportive of intensification, possibly even rapid intensification. So keeping a very close eye on this. Of course, it is still looking to make landfall somewhere between, let's see here, St. Mark's and Nuttall Rise. This will be right at St. Mark's Wilderness, between St. Mark's Wilderness, St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. And of course, the most damaging storm surge is going to be found on that eastern flank of the hurricane. And that is the reason why you see all of the blues along the coast. That is storm surge warning, in which we could have historic, catastrophic storm surge up to 20 feet up here in parts of the Big Bend. So definitely this is again one of the big reasons why we have ceased operations in the southern plains of Torcon Weather Team, and I've stopped all the feeds, and we are only putting information out there that is pertaining to Hurricane Helene, to try to get as much information out there as we possibly can this evening. And again, you're looking at a couple of live looks, one near Dauphin Island, another one near Clearwater Beach, and it does look like getting sustained winds at Dauphin Island of around 35 to 45 miles per hour and around 50 miles per hour near Clearwater Beach. They're checking out all of the news, any updates here. Here is a live cam of Eaglewood Beach Cam. See how rough those seas are in Englewood, Florida. Wow. Really rough seas. You can see that water beginning to move into onshore. And again, Torcon has two storm chasers down there in Florida. Waiting to see if we are going to see any more live feed from them. They did go live earlier today, but of course we want to make sure that we keep them out of harm's way, obviously. Here is a look at Siesta Beach. Of course, definitely seeing the storm surge there as it continues to push up onto shore at Siesta Beach. little better cam. We're going to go ahead and put Siesta Beach up there. Alright, get that up there. We also want to update. And again, I'm constantly going through seeing what I can pick up on social media to pass on to you guys. The Skyway Bridge and the Howard Franklin Bridge are both closed now in Tampa due to high winds and storm surge. Motorists should stay off of the highways. And show you guys what that looked like.
National Weather Service in Wilmington, North Carolina has issued a tornado warning for Georgetown County in northeastern South Carolina, east central Williamsburg County in northeastern South Carolina until 1815 Eastern. At 1742 Eastern, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near North Santee, or just west of Georgetown, moving north at 35 miles per hour. Hazardous tornado radar indicated rotation. Have a cell marker of Juliet 0 moving north at 29 miles per hour, hail 10%, max hail 1/10 of an inch, max DBZ 54, Ville 23, Meso 2, Kilo Lima Tango X-ray.
All right, guys. So obviously you saw that.
Weather Service in Jacksonville, Florida, has issued a tornado warning for central South St. Johns County in northeastern Florida until 1800 Eastern at 1743 Eastern. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Federal Point, or 7 miles north of Hastings, moving north at 50 miles per hour. Hazards tornado radar indicated rotation. Storm will be near World Golf Village around 1755 Eastern. Have a cell marker of Victor 4 moving north-northwest at 49 miles per hour, max DBZ 56, Ville 20, Meso 3, Kilo Juliet Alpha X-ray.
Okay, so that last tornado warning Jeff was reading out, our radar tech, is for this cell right here. And again, that is going to be for central St. Johns County in northeastern Florida until 6 p.m. And again, these are all part of the outer bands of Hurricane Helene that is coming onto shore here on the eastern side of Florida. So we also have this one down just to the south. This is for western Hardy, eastern Manatee County, northwestern DeSoto County until 6 p.m.
National Weather Service in Tampa Bay area, Ruskin, Florida, has issued a tornado warning for western Hardee County and Central Florida, eastern Manatee County and west central Florida, northwestern DeSoto County in south central Florida until 1800 Eastern. At 1745 Eastern, a severe thunderstorm cable producing tornado was located near Myakka City, or 15 miles northwest of Arcadia, moving north at 60 miles per hour. Hazards tornado radar indicated rotation. Storm will be near Myakka City around 1750 Eastern.
Okay, that was
a cell marker of Juliet 3 moving north at 69 miles per hour. Max DBZ 56, Ville 18, Meso 4. National Weather Service in Tampa Bay area, Ruskin, Florida, has issued a tornado warning for western Hardee County and central Florida, eastern Manatee County and west central Florida, northwestern DeSoto County in south central Florida until 1800 Eastern. At 1745 Eastern, a severe thunderstorm cable producing tornado was located near Myakka.
Okay, that was the one that we just finished up looking at. We also have another one up here, well to the north. This is for Georgetown County, Williamsburg County. This is in northeastern South Carolina, guys. This is how far these things are reaching from South Carolina all the way down into eastern Florida. And these are just the outer bands. So this goes till 6:15. So severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was located near North Santee or just west of Georgetown, moving north at 35. Let's take a look at the rotation here on this one here. So yeah, there's we definitely have some rotation right down here. Looks like it is moving away from that is South Fraser Street, Highway 17. It is just to the west of Interstate 17. So it is moving off to the northwest. So if you live in Moyd, Foster Corner, Spring Gully, Graves, Cumberland, you need to go to the lowest portion of your house or into the basement. Take a look. They are on the outer edges of the wall of the eye of the hurricane. We are, looks like 976 millibars is what the sounding is showing. 976.9, 978 and bigger. So we are they're still a ways away from the center here. So again, this eye wall may be trying to close off. That's a sign of intensification and come back bigger and stronger as that eye opens back up. But I'm going to look at a couple other screens here and we will take a look to see if that is the case. And again, this thing is a monster of a storm. We looked at this earlier. This is the satellite image. We go from the outer bands across the eye. We're looking at almost 526 miles wide. This is a powerhouse monster of a hurricane. It is currently a Cat 3. And by the time it makes landfall in a Big Bend, we're still expecting it to be a strong Cat 3 with indications that it could make landfall as a Cat 4 hurricane. All right, and again, the Skyway Bridge, Howard Franklin Bridge, are both closed in Tampa. That was the live stream I was putting up a little bit ago. That was just incredible footage. I don't know why this thing was even still open as these cars coming across there. Let me show that one more time here for you guys. Just incredible footage. This is
National Weather Service in Raleigh, North Carolina has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Granville County and central North Carolina, north central Wake County and central North Carolina, east central Durham.
Okay, we will take a look at that. But take a look at that. Those cars going across there. We do have some first responders up here. I'm assuming that they are trying to stop the traffic. But just amazing footage. Gee, Merry Christmas. There's no way you catch me on that bridge. No way. All right, let's take a look and see. Actually, I believe the one that he was reading off was the one that we have already looked at up there in North Carolina. Hi, Tammy. Glad to have you on here, hon. And again, just in case somebody is just tuning in, I'm going to be live streaming for quite some time tonight. I have ceased the operations on our Torcon weather team Southern Plains region page. I've stopped all the feeds from all the National Weather Service, and the only thing that is going to be put up on that is going to be information pertaining to Hurricane Helene. We're trying to get as much information out to as many people as possible. We do have several in Subby's weather group that either live between Tampa and Tallahassee, or they might have second homes in that area. So we want to make sure that everybody has the latest information, and that's the reason why I kind of made the call. There's no severe weather in the Southern Plains, no threat of severe weather. We're under actually beautiful skies today. So that is going to be one of the reasons why we're doing that. We will resume normal operations for the Southern Plains tomorrow afternoon. But this just gives us yet another avenue to be able to get information out to everybody. I am live streaming on 5 different platforms right now. Looks like we've got, we don't have very many on our Facebook page. Let's see, or one of the YouTube page, we only got a couple, but we've got 57 that are watching from another YouTube page. So, and of course, what you're seeing live here, that is Siesta Beach on the top picture and Clearwater Beach on the bottom picture. These are live feeds. Looks like Siesta Beach is, you can really see that storm surge working its way up the coast. Sustained winds there of around 65 miles per hour, around 55 miles per hour in Clearwater Beach currently, with, I'm sure, a little bit higher gusts to go along with that as well. What I am going to do, I need to update some information here.
National Weather Service in Jacksonville, Florida has issued a tornado warning for northwestern St. Johns County and northeastern Florida until 18:15 Eastern. At 17:55 Eastern, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Piccolata, or 11 miles southeast of Green Cove Springs, moving north at 35 miles per hour. Hazardous tornado radar indicated rotation. Storm will be near World Golf Village around 1800 Eastern, Fruit Cove around 1810 Eastern. Stand by for cell marker. X-ray cell marker of Vector 4 moving north-northwest at 56 miles per hour, max DBZ 50, Vil 6, Kilo Juliet Alpha X-ray.